Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing the ECMWF 6 weeks look ahead for today's second video. So yes, we're going to be going 6 weeks ahead, taking us well into July with the ECM extended model. I shall get on that view very shortly. We've got January Friday coming up as well. That's month ahead look ahead for Japanese and CFS V2 miles, and also 10 to 14 day. It's a busy old day at GavsWeatherVids today. We started with our 7 AM upload. I'm going to be live streaming tonight. Can you believe it? Friday night live streams are back tonight after 10 o'clock, probably around 10 past 10 I think we'll start off. So we're going to have a laugh, it's going to be a bit of fun, and I shall see you live at just after 10 o'clock tonight. But plenty of vids to come before that. Please like, share, subscribe on all the videos. Thank you so much everybody for that. And big thank you to ECMWF.int for supplying us with the charts, of course. Right, so let's start off with this one. We're focusing on IW UK. We do the wider European outlook, of course, on a Tuesday. Right, so let's start off with week 1. 500 millibar height anomaly. No, 500 mean sea level pressure anomaly, I should say. Let's start off with week 1. Mean sea level pressure anomaly from the ECM takes us from the 7th through to the 14th of June. So the coming week, going to have high pressure more or less centered over the top of the country and over top of Ireland as well. Low pressure will be pushed off up towards Green and Iceland along with the jet stream. So next week looking high and dry. Looks like there'll be a lot of dry and fine weather around next week, if that is right. 500, this is the 500 millibar height anomaly from a North Pole view down. That's the North Pole of the Arctic just there. Again, showing above average heights across northern and western parts of Europe. A big area of high pressure in the ascendancy next week from the 7th to the 14th of June. It means that the temperature anomaly is going to be above average. Got a very warm, but maybe even quite a hot week coming up next week, if that is right. Therefore, in the UK, most parts of northern Western Europe is included in that. On the temperature scale, we have got hints of like deep orange, which is kind of like going to around 3 to 6 degrees above average. So that's significantly hotter than average in early June. Also a very dry week as well. Look at this, precipitation anomaly for week 1 is significantly drier than normal. So high pressure dominates. It's going to be a hotter than average week and also warmer than average week next week if the ECM is right. So we start off with classic summer weather. Right, let's move on to week 2 then. This will be the 14th to the 21st of June. So this week we see the high pressure still there, but just drifting a little bit to our west. And so this starts to possibly bring down something a little bit cooler from the northwest. Got low pressure across southern parts of Europe and eastern Europe too, so lower pressure through the south and east Europe. We're still dominated by high pressure, so it should be a lot of dry weather with that, but I think temperatures with the high pressure just sort of shifting to our west. I think temperatures probably would lower a little bit. The 500 millibar height anomaly also shows the high pressure sitting just over and to our west. It's not particularly unsettled. The unsettled weather is across northern and east Europe with a trough here, below average heights, trough of low pressure into the east part of Europe. So it's still mainly dry, but I do think that around the high pressure we're probably bringing in something a little bit cooler from the north and the northwest. The temperature anomaly for week 2 is still above average, but it's not as warm, not as hot as it is in week 1. So there's a little bit of a cool down beginning to take place, although nevertheless we're still we're still above average with the temperature, and it should still be pretty dry as well. Yeah, we see that as well with the precipitation anomaly coming out drier than normal significantly. So once again, so that's another warm dry week, but not as warm as like week 1. Right, let's move on. This is week 3, 21st, 28th of June. So I take the high pressure even further to our west now. So week by week, we're beginning to take this high pressure further and further away from us. Now it's sort of centering in the middle of the North Atlantic with lower pressure in across northern Europe. And so, although not desperately unsettled, not a strong signal to be really unsettled, I think that probably is turning a little bit cooler and a little bit more showery as well. Influence from a jet stream northwest to southeast, and probably, yes, we're starting to bring some showery conditions through. Their week 3, 500 millibar height anomaly again has that idea that we take the high pressure further away from us and center it into the middle of the North Atlantic. But trough of low pressure is still across northern and central Europe, but also backing more towards the west. At the very least, I think this would be more showery, not as completely dry, but not a washout. But I think this would be a cooler and more showery week. The temperature anomaly reduces further, so now we're starting to go a little bit cooler than average just to our north and east, although still slightly above average temperatures to our south and southwest. But definitely as we progress into second half of June, there is signs of a cool down here. And precipitation-wise, we're losing the signal to be particularly dry, so I think probably it's turning a bit more showery, at very least, if not overly unsettled. Right, let's head on to week 4 then, which is 28th of June to the 5th of July. If you're enjoying this extended look ahead with the ECMWF 6 weeks extended range model, then please can you smash the like button, let YouTube know that you're enjoying it. Right, so week 4. 28th of June to the 5th of July, we start to get low pressure developing to our south. And then not really much sign of what's happening across the northern parts of Europe, to be honest. Let's see if the 500 millibar height anomaly can shed any light. So still the idea is there, but we've got high pressure in the middle of the North Atlantic. So high pressure pulls out into the middle of the North Atlantic at the end of June, so sticks there into July, which I think is just going to be a little bit more unsettled. It will be a little bit more showery, but more influence from the jet stream. And whilst probably not a washout of a period, I think this is going into cooler and more showery conditions. The temperature anomaly is close to average to still slightly above average. So the temperature anomaly isn't too bad. Precipitation anomaly looks like that. Very weak signal. Again, just seems to be no signal or a little bit on the drier side. So we're not talking about anything particularly bad here. But definitely, like, from the first half of June to second half of June, there is like a switch to something that's a bit cooler and a bit more showery. Week 5 is the 5th through to the 12th of July. So very weak signals now. We've got low pressure to our south, around Biscay and in towards France. Maybe hints of some higher pressure to our north, but it all looks rather flimsy from a mean sea level pressure anomaly perspective. The week 5 500 millibar height anomaly looks a little bit more encouraging if you want drier, warmer weather to return, because above average heights come back over and to the north of the country, which was probably sending wind back into the east, actually. So that actually hints that it could be going drier and warmer there into week 5. The temperature anomaly is picking back up again, going significantly above average. So 5 weeks away, so we're a long way out now. In any case, but you'll think this is going to go drier as well. So actually, you know, there is a signal there to be drier than average just to our north there in the 5th week. And then finally, we get through to week 6, which will be the 12th through to the 19th of July. That's how it looks. Again, very weak signals from a mean sea level pressure anomaly perspective. So I think just put in a question mark there. Let's have a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly. Again, nothing really doing there to work with from a 500 millibar perspective. So by week 6, very weak signals indeed. Still indicating above average temperatures though, so that's interesting, isn't it? Still generally warmer than average here through much of northern and western Europe. And lastly, the week 6 precipitation anomaly. Again, nothing really doing from a precipitation perspective. Right, okay, so that's how it's looking. You know, it's looking mainly dry and very warm through the first half of June, as we know it already is. That's going to carry on for a little while longer next week, and the following week will probably be relatively dry and warm as well. I think there's a deterioration to something a little bit cooler and more showery. I won't go overboard with it being unsettled, but let's just say a little bit cooler and a little bit more showery through the second half of June, especially in the last week or so of the month. That carries us through into early July, and then maybe going drier and warmer again as we push on in towards the middle of July, although the signal then is very weak. Right, if you enjoyed this extended podcast, then please can you smash your like button, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to tell your friends and family about GavsWeatherVids as well. Thank you so much for doing this. And drop a comment, let us know what you think. Remember, any forecast beyond 5 to 7 days is fraught with danger. It comes with health warnings. So just a snapshot of what the model shows today could look very different next week. We are going to be back with our 30-day forecast, which is going to be JMA Friday, of course. So that's the next video up. Then after that, we'll have a 10 to 14 day, which will include all of the regular features. So I'll see you soon. But for the ECM Extended, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.